Hey everyone, Sarah here with the Green Executive, and we're going to be talking about materials. How can I make materials only shown on specific services when they're needed? So this particular test job, it's got a lot of different, well, 10 actually, 10 different things that we can clock into. Those are tasks. So T for task, T for time. We've got 10 ways we can spend our time. We also have 10 services, S for service, S like a dollar sign. 10 things that we can accomplish on someone's property, and they may be driving an invoice here. So these services and tasks are set up on a job. This job also has some materials with it. So you might be saying, well, they only need certain materials when they do certain accomplishments. They don't necessarily need to see the abilia for every single service. They only need it on certain ones. So that's tucked in here. So where I'm at is I'm in the job, materials and equipment, and we see the materials listed here. So inside here, it's asking you if we want the foreman to track how much did you use. So these are all toggled on, indicating, yes, I would like the crew leader to indicate how much they used, if they used it, and if so, how much. Inside here, I get to designate when it asks the crew leader about that. So I can ask them about that no matter what, if they just go there. Maybe something like a quote unquote material of a gate. I might ask them every time they go there. You might be saying, well, if this fertilizer, they really only need to use it when they're doing certain lawn apps, lawn treatments. So it's selected just for that. So if they need it all the time, that's all the time. If they need it for certain ones, then you can select which ones, or rather deselect the ones that it's not needed on. Now, this is not as good as it seems because of the application of it. Now this seems all like great. Okay, great. It's only going to ask them about this, the fertilizer bags whenever they mark off or indicate that they did the spring fert or the summer fert and so on. However, that is true. However, in the application of it in the crew app, the way it's set up right now, they'll go in and they'll say, yes, I completed this service. I completed this ferts for the spring. So it'll kick in because we've indicated it to do so. Okay, then how many bags of granular fertilizer did you use? And it will ask them. Now, if the crew leader keeps scrolling, it's going to ask them again, because what this section does is it says when they indicate that this service is marked off, should it ask them about it then? So we're saying yes. When we toggle this on here, we're saying when they indicate that this service of spring fert is done, then ask them about the bags of fertilizer. In the crew app, when they continue to scroll down, though, it's going to show them all the materials at the very bottom of the screen in their app. So if we're narrowing it down here, we just want to make sure our crew leaders know you don't mark it off both places. If you're marking it off because it kicked in for the spring fert, then I don't need to scroll down and mark it off there. I'm just going to stay right where I'm at, stay in my lane, and keep going through the workflow in the app. If they mark it off for as it's tucked under the spring fert, and they mark it off if they scroll all the way down where it shows all the materials, it will indicate that they doubled up. It'll indicate that they used twice as much as they really did. So can this be helpful? Sure, because then when the crew leader marks off the service of spring fert, it's going to automatically trigger it to say, ask them about the granular bags of fertilizer. That can be a good thing. We just want to make sure they don't continue down that screen and mark it off twice.